Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Zach with Money Pit RC. I get a lot of questions of what I do in the winter months. So one, I indoor crawl, and this winter we're gonna build a new indoor course. I'm gonna make a video for you guys. And two, we buy mini drift cars. So I already have a couple little indoor mini drift cars. So the first one I have is this little WPL. We did get some plastic drift wheels for it. Metal chassis. This thing is actually really good. It doesn't have a good turning radius and it's four-wheel drive, so it's kind of hard to drift. We also have this little X mod thing, well, hex mod, but we have this little thing which is fun. We just got a new one. This is a LDRC 1/18 scale drift car. It is a GTR, RIP, Brian O'Connor. This thing is absolutely epic. We're gonna talk about it a little bit and we're just gonna run it inside. So we're gonna talk about what comes in the box. Maybe we'll try to upgrade it. I heard there's a whole bunch of upgrades for this thing, so maybe we'll jump into that rabbit hole and go down from there. So before we talk about what comes in the box, I wanna talk about this awesome packaging. As you can see, LDRC. It's got a 1/18 rear-wheel drive drift car. It is a GTR, lights mode, dampening effect, drift tires, CVT, 9G servo, adjustable inclination, and 2.4 gigahertz 3-channel radio. If you can read this, it says, "Let more people like playing models." Yep, that's all I got. So I'm gonna give the packaging a 20 out of 10 because this thing is sick. It's a nice felt hard case. The car fits perfectly in there in the remote. If you ever want to put it back here and let's say you're traveling, you could definitely use this because it is perfect and it will secure the car and not have any damage. I really like that. This is what you pay for, this case. Let more people like playing models. Alright, what comes in the box is you get the car itself. You're getting a little nickel metal hydride, 7.4 volt, 500 milliamp hour battery, which I definitely want to change this out. Got the charger, and you got this remote. When I held this remote in my hand, it is very cheap. Very, like, you know when you put a remote in your hand and you just feel it. So it does tell you the modes up top. A is for short press to switch between high and low speed. So A is high and low speed. B is for the steering angle. You can have a short throw or a long throw. And C is for the lights. Then you got your throttle trim. You can set it to 50% if you have like a new driver, or 100%. Then you have the steering trim. But I mean, it's got a cool thumb steer. It's alright, but it's, like I said, it just feels very cheap in your hands. So when you get this out of the box, it's not going to have the wing, it's not going to have the mirrors, the windshield wipers, door handles. You got to install all that, but all they do is just snap into place. The main thing I wanted to talk about this thing is it's metal. It's an all metal body. It's got some weight to it. It's got some good weight. Underneath, nothing really too special. You might think, oh, it's got sway bars. No, this is actually for the suspension. Just bolts there and then bolts to the lower arm and kind of gives it that little spring. But so it doesn't have actual shocks, but it is rear wheel drive, lock diff in the rear, 2-wheel drive, crazy amount of steering angle, which is good for a drift car. I think that's pretty good for the price point of this thing. It does have a built-in gyro. So if you don't know what a gyro is, let's say you're fishtailing this way, it's going to counter steer, try to keep you straight. But in a drift car, it helps you prolong the skid, is what I've heard. So I already had this thing out, ran a couple battery packs through it, and it's awesome. So I already had 2 battery packs through this thing. It was amazing. It was really fun. Took a little bit to get used to. The gyro is a little bit too sensitive, but I feel like we may be able to turn it down, but I don't think so. I'll have to do some research, but I feel like it's a little bit too sensitive. So if we can turn that down or maybe just replace it, but I'm gonna take this body off. There's 4 screws to take the body off. I'm going to take the body off and see what's going on underneath. Alright, so pretty impressed. It's got this plastic screen to protect from dirt and all that. So it looks like it's a normal 3-wire micro servo. So I'm sure we can upgrade that, no problem. ESC and receivers all built in one, which I think the gyro is built into this too. So might have to just replace all that. whole bunch of wiring for the lights. Other than that, it's pretty basic, nothing too crazy. Metal axles, not too bad underneath. Metal, crazy, that's what gets me going, but yeah, really not that bad. Pretty simple underneath, nothing too special. So after some more digging, this is the connector for the battery, and it looks like it's just a lead that looks like one of those PH2 battery leads. Huh. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug in, I have a extension for like a SX24 battery, so I'm just going to plug it in there and then run it through the battery tray and run this thing just straight off a LiPo, a bigger LiPo. We can get some more runtime, maybe some more power, maybe we'll blow it up, I don't know. A whole bunch of stuff happened. Bad things happen. So this, you know how I said that this right here was for the battery? It was, but I did not notice that the standard plug has the power on the one side and negative on the other, which I normally just, you know, plug it in and call it a day. Plugged it in, poof, genie smoke. So fried that, which this was the built-in receiver, ESC, gyro, everything. So bad things happened there. Took out the motor too, which this is just a 130 turned, just a brush motor. Nothing too special, but took that out too. You may ask yourself, what did I do? A whole bunch. Still have the gyro. So as you can see, what's hanging down there is I put a TRX4M motor. I put a 180, I don't know what turn it is, but I put a 180 motor in there. Fit perfectly. Changed out the ESC. I put a Enduro MB100 ESC plus my Dumbo RC receiver, which has a gyro. So still have the gyro, which is good. So now it has a little bit more power. I know I have a good motor, ESC, receiver. So yeah, a lot of things happened. So now we're just gonna play around with it. So there you go. If you wanted to know, you can change that stuff out and it fits perfectly. So if you get one of these LDRC 118 drift cars, you can literally put a stock TRX4M motor in it. Don't even change the pinion gear. Made it right up. That gives good options though. Get a little brushes in there, but it fits perfect. It is bigger than the one, I think it's a 150. Yep, 150 turn. It's bigger than the 150 turn, but it fits perfectly. Didn't have to trim anything. It literally bolted right in, and you're good to go. So we're gonna do all this one-handed. Not bad for one-handed. Try some figure eights. Dang. I know, you guys can just call me the Drift King. So I'll set up some cones and see if we can do some lines. Not those kinds of lines, the other lines. Alright, we got some cones set up. Not really sure what we're doing, but Did you see that? That was probably the perfect slide. Oh. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, crash. Oh, that was almost it. Almost. Oh, barrier slide. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh, crash. Alright, let's see how tight we can get around this that white circle. That's not too bad. That is not too bad for my first time drifting. I will say that this thing is pretty easy to drive once you figure it out. So once you actually figure it out, it's not too bad. Nice. So for the price of this thing, I think it's like 50, 60 bucks that you can find it. It's really not that bad. I wanted to keep it stock the whole video, but little technical difficulties, but it's fun. And like I said, I really didn't do much. I mean, okay, I changed out all the electronics. TRX4M motor, Enduro MB100 ESC, and a Dumbo RC receiver and transmitter. That's probably what, 30 bucks and stuff. Not that bad, and I think it drifts a little bit better because the gyro is less sensitive than the stock one. I can tune the gyro down with the Dumbo RC transmitter, so I really think that helped. But other than that, this thing is an absolute blast. It is so much fun. It is awesome to drive. It's easy to drive, actually. I really am not a drifter at all, but once you understand the concept and all that, it's really not that bad. So I will leave a link in the description box below where you can check one of these out at and maybe purchase it if you want. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, I enjoy reading through all your feedback. Catch you guys in the next video.